Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 Hardcore Series. We're returning from our mid-season break, our summer break, and we're ready to head to Holland, to the Netherlands, for Zandvoort and round 14. Yeah, not the best intro I've ever done there. Tripping over myself a little bit. Almost out of practice. It's been a few days. So yeah, slightly longer than expected sort of mid-season break because we did stream on Friday. So it's been, 4 days? 3 days, 4 days since our last race. But here we are then, ready for Holland, for the Netherlands. We've got 25 days until the Grand Prix, and we've got a nice little chunk of change in our wallet, 12.8 million, which is quite nice. So we can hopefully do a little bit of work on facilities, maybe getting some upgrades in, maybe getting that new engine in for Oscar. We don't have a huge amount of money left in the cost cap. This is the issue. So as you can see, we've got 23 mil left in our cost cap, and if we don't spend excuse me, if we don't spend any more money, then we're going to spend about 10 million of that over the remainder of the season. So we've technically only got about 13 million left. Now if we buy a new engine for Oscar, that's a good chunk of that money gone already. That's 5 million. So I think we kind of have to try and scrape by on whatever powertrain we've got left in Oscar's pool is not great. So you can see we're on the final engine. We've got a 92 and we've got a 71. We've got the 42 and the 2. That one we can probably run maybe on a Q3 practice session. Oh, sorry, an FP3 practice session, just to kill it off a little bit more. This one's already in practice state, so that leaves us basically just these two engines left. We could just about scrape through, I think. Maybe it'll be tight, but I do think Oscar's going to be running on fumes by the end of the season, which is a little bit of a shame. I can't afford. I mean, I've got the cash on hand, but I just can't afford what it's going to take out of the cost cap to buy him a new engine, because it will kill our research for the rest of the season. Plus, we are going to have to make spare parts at some point as well. So, given all that, I think we kind of have to just, as I say, make do with whatever we've got left, which isn't great, but there's not a lot we can really do about that, unfortunately. So we're now switching from attack into defense for the rest of the season. We've already surpassed our current target, which was to finish in 5th. We're currently in 2nd in the Constructors. We've got no hope of catching Red Bull. No hope at all. So now we've got to we'll probably fall back into 3rd at least, maybe 4th. But as long as we finish in 5th or above, that will constitute a success this season, I think. So, how you doing, Anthony? How you doing, Baron? How you doing, Victor? Mr. Water, good to see you guys. My weekend was good, thank you. Anthony, how was your weekend? You've had the dreaded low confidence warning. Well, low confidence is okay. It's when you've lost confidence, that's when you're in trouble. So, yeah, just don't let things get worse and you'll be okay. Let's see, spare parts. We are making more suspensions. We've got 3 more to come. So let's take a quick look at our warehouse. We've got 2 chassis left. So we're going to need a couple of spare chassis. We've got 2 side pods left. We're going to need a couple of those as well. So go ahead and make 2 more of these. And 2 more of these. All right. So that's our spare parts taken care of. We still got plenty of wings. We've still got spare underfloors. Suspensions are on their way. So that's all okay. Right. So 10.8 million. Let's take a look at our facilities. So the race sim is getting its refurb. Nothing here needs attention. Operationally, helipad's getting a bit low. I have to keep an eye on that. Car development facilities, factory's going to need a refurb / upgrade. Suspension simulator is getting low. We could do with upgrading that. That's 10 mil. Let's go ahead and drop that on now, and then we'll just refurb the factory. And then that will bring all apart from the wind tunnel, which we've just refurbished. So we won't do an upgrade on that for a while. But that will bring us in line with the CFD, the car part test center, the design center, and the factory with everything apart from the wind tunnel at level 3 then. So that's quite nice. All right, let's advance some time. Sponsors VIP experience. Oh yeah, let's bring them along to Zandvoort. Hopefully we can still put on a good performance there and make some extra cash. I wonder if our streaks are due to finish there. If they, that's the great thing. If you get one of those and a streak finishes on the same day or the same weekend that the sponsors want to turn up, if you've got like a 5-race streak that's going and it finishes on that day, you get 3 times the payout on that, which could be huge amounts of money. If you're on for like 3 mil, that becomes 9 mil. That's brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. And that's just for that one. I mean, if you get both of them finishing on the same day, that's some sweet, sweet cash. All right, research is done on the underfloor, so we are going to get another project up and running while we still have the cash, and it's probably going to be another underfloor. Yep. Let's get another underfloor going. No more hours for a while, for another month. And once again, we're going to concentrate on boosting the areas that are going to need them the most. We'll just down these ones a little bit more. There we go. I don't have the money. All right, we'll have to wait a few days. I think we're right at the end of the month, so yeah, we'll get some more money in a few days. All right, weather sensor is now level 3. Excellent. Just in time for potentially wet Zandvoort. Race sim is now refurbished. And there we go, new month. So, this is where our car sits at the moment, but that's not a true picture yet because there will doubtless be some cars that have yet to put replacement parts on, and maybe some upgrades coming as well. So, while it looks really, really good now, things may change a little bit when we get to Zandvoort itself. Board confidence. They have high confidence in us, as you can see. Oh, a whole page full of delighteds. How good is that? Oh, what a difference the season makes. Right, drivers, how did they develop over the month of July? Let's see. Mick gained 2 points in overtaking. Oscar gained a point in control. And then Ollie gained a point in smoothness and a point in accuracy. That's not too bad. Alpine have unveiled a new chassis, and now they're working on a suspension. Below where they expect to be. And let's get our training schedule done for this month. So let's go with training like that. In fact, let's make that car building. There we go. throw in one day. Yeah. Okay. Oops. There we go. Got a nice, good chunk of training scheduled for the week after Monza. Getting some extra car building as well. And that's looking like a pretty successful month there. Look at our chances of mistake down to just 8.78%. We could probably go ahead actually and bump in a bit more speed training. Change that to car building as well. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I'm happy with that. Right, so we've got some money again. So now we can get that extra underfloor research project started. So where were we? That's all the way up there. That's there. That's there. Drop that down to there and to there. Yeah, there we go. And we'll get one engineer on that. And now we're going to sack off 2 more of our engineers just to save a bit more money. Try and stretch what's left of our meager cost cap. There we go. That'll save us so we're on 6 right now, so that'll save us an extra 13,000 a month. It's not a huge amount, but it all adds up. Yeah, advancing time again. Spare side pods are done. So we've got 4 of those in stock again now. Rear wing research is done. Let's get another rear wing done. I think chassis is not affected. Rear wing is. Side pods aren't. So once again, we're going to focus in on the key areas. Try and gain a little bit more on the DRS. Yeah, that'll do. Once again, just the one engineer. We've got spare suspensions now, so we should have 6 now. Yes, suspensions taken care of for the rest of the season, hopefully, as long as we don't crash and wreck some. Spare chassis. Okay. More research getting finished. And again, that will be affected. So once again, we will focus in on the key areas. Just work the brakes a little bit more. There we go. One engineer. Go. And let's see, we've got a front wing about to drop the next day as well. And then once we've done that, we'll see how much we've got left in the cost cap, because, you know, we've just burnt through quite a bit in short order. So So, finances, cost cap. Wow, we're down to just 5.5 million left. Yeah, we burnt through a good chunk of that already. That's not encouraging. Scouts are idle. Yeah, we've only got one scout. Do we actually need that scout? Well, I suppose it's better to have one scout. Is there anybody I want to have a look at? Not really. Any engineers I want to have a look at? Again, no, not really. Drivers. Is there anyone down here I'm curious about? Let's take a look at Vladimir. There we go. And we have arrived at race weekend. Weather is going to be iffy for qualifying, but the race will be hot and sunny. Okay, let's take a look at where our car sits on the grid now after a mid-season break. Oh yeah, we've definitely lost out a bit in the downforce stakes. There you can see we still have really good speed, but our downforce is definitely falling behind again. We are below the average now on medium and high speed, quite significantly. Dirty air tolerance is still pretty strong, 5th. Quite happy with that. Not so worried about the cooling. And the brake cooling is still pretty strong. Engine cooling's not bad. Low speed, average. Some circuits are going to hurt us more than others. Like this, we may have to try and throw out one extra upgrade instead of a research project. But then that means manufacturing that, which again takes away from our ability to research. I think basically we are done on development now. We're just focusing purely on research for the rest of the year or until we run out of money, which is only a few more parts away by the look of it. We've maybe got four more research projects that we can knock out, and then we're out of money and into cost cap breaking territory again. So let's set some targets. Let's build up a nice big wad of cash to pay for all the cost cap fines we are inevitably going to be getting for the rest of the season. I think one car in the top 10 is definitely a thing. 2 might be pushing it a bit around this particular circuit. There's a lot of corners, not a lot of straights. So let's go 2 in the top 12. 1 car in Q3. We're not going to get any streaks done tonight. That's a shame. Starting a new one, and we're only halfway through that one. Fastest lap. There you can see if we get it. It's now worth 540 grand for this race, so it'd be nice, but it's unlikely. Finish position. Let's go 2 in the top 10. We should be able to achieve that, assuming our drivers don't do something stupid. And we are ready to head to the Dutch Grand Prix.
Hello and a very warm welcome as we prepare for the Dutch Grand Prix. We're back from the summer break with topped up tans. Vacation though is now over and it's time to get serious on the track for the second half of the F1 season. To carry speed through the steep banking of Zandvoort, teams will need to be loading downforce onto their cars this weekend. Zandvoort has the second shortest lap time of the whole F1 season, and the track tolerates no mistakes. It was Charles Leclerc who tasted victory in the last race, but he will surely be looking to find the recipe for success again and achieve another podium place. It's time then for another thrilling weekend of F1 drama.
Okay, let's get some bits sorted out for our cars. Let's start off with that engine. And that ERS. And that gearbox. There we go. Let's put Ollie in the car tonight as well. Let's give him another run. We'll go soft tyres for Ollie. And it's 21 laps for a day one run. Alright, setup. Let's have a look. Let's go with a 10. A 15. Nope, a 13.5. Can't read my own writing here. A 7.3. A 2.95. And a 0.4. There we go. Right, car 1 is done. Car 2. Oscar. Go with that engine. And that ERS. And ooh, not a great choices on gearboxes. We'll go with that one. We do have those extra parts we've already paid for with Oscar, don't we? The extra ERS and the extra gearbox. So he's good on those bits. It's just the engines he's going to be a little compromised on. Okay, that's not too bad. Right, setup for Oscar. Let's go with a 9.5, a 13.5, a 5.5, a 3.4, and a 1. Go. And we'll send them out to the track.
Yeah, we can now. Radio check.
Yeah, radio is good.
Radio check loud and clear. Quick radio check for me.
Yep. Radio check.
Yeah, copy same. Watch those curbs.
Understood.
All right, we're starting to get a good picture of how the real-life F1 cars are going to stack up this year as we fast approach the first race of the season, which I think is this weekend. Yeah, we've just finished the week of testing. Well, I say the week, it was 3 days, but yeah, it's looking like Red Bull still pretty comfortable out front. They are looking very pleased with themselves after testing. I have to say, I do kind of like the concept that they've gone with. In the side pods with the narrow vertical slit and then the narrow horizontal slit to feed their air intake for the cooling system. I do like that look. It's a very, very stylish look and will almost certainly be very effective as well. Maybe they might be a little sus on the cooling. In reality, at some of the hotter tracks, we may see a refinement to that as the season goes on. It'd be interesting to see. Red Bull have had a history in the past of packing things a little too tight, making their car a little bit too susceptible temperature-wise. We saw that with a change of these regulations when their car just blew up effectively at Bahrain. Both cars failing to finish, but we'll see. Ferrari actually looking pretty decent. I mean, they didn't look amazing in terms of how much they developed the car, conceptually. They didn't look like they'd made any massive advancements, but the reports coming from Leclerc and Sainz seems to indicate that they have made the car more predictable, which is what they needed, and they showed good pace on their long run tests as well. So it looks as though maybe they're getting on top of the tyre wear issues that killed them in race trim last season. So hopefully Ferrari can be a bit more of a consistent threat this season. Mercedes are making some interesting progress. They have kind of gone back to a point where they are, in a way, 2 years behind a couple of teams. No, 2 years behind Red Bull, because they've switched to a completely new concept. So while their concept is still new and their car isn't as competitive, they should be able to find more performance a lot better than some of the other teams that are a good chunk of the way through the advancement of their concept. Because this is almost like a complete redo for Mercedes. So while they've got some good baseline pace, but they're not at Red Bull's level and probably not at Ferrari's level either, they should be able to find performance pretty quickly. And again, the car is apparently much more predictable. It was very, very peaky last year. Very, very skittish at the rear. That appears to have been resolved this year. So I'm really keen to see how quickly Mercedes can tack on some performance to their car. McLaren, I'm not really sure what to think about McLaren. They're not really sure where they are pace-wise as well. They are probably slower than the Mercedes right now. And Aston are in a similar kind of position to McLaren, I think. So it's kind of close between those two. I think we've got a clear first team, which is Red Bull. I think we've got a clear second team, which is Ferrari. I think Mercedes are a clear third right now. And then it's a toss-up between McLaren and Aston. But Alpine are in trouble by the look of it. They have not looked good at all through pre-season testing. So, yeah, that is not good for them. Be interested to see how they can develop their car over the next few months. Right, 83% for Ollie. Let's call him in. Should have done that a little earlier, but let's get him in now. We'll let Oscar finish his run. And the wing is wrong, so I'm going to tack on a bit more downforce. Let's go to a 14. I have one 14 wing setup. I do have a couple of 13s. Actually, let's play the percentages. I've got two 13s and only one 14. Let's go the 13 route. So let's go with 13. Let me have a look. Actually, no. I don't think that's going to work. We'll go with the 14 route because we'll go with the 8.2. So 8.5, 14, 8.2, 2.9, and 0.15. Oh, wow. We're way off on the front wing doing that. Way off. Okay. It's not that then. Let's put that back to a 7.3. Given where the front wing is, the rear wing is, and the front wing is, I think maybe it is a 13. Let's try a 13 then. Let's leave that as a 7. Let's go to a 6.4. Pull that way. No, that's not going to work. Let's go back to a 7.3. We're spitballing on this one. Trying to figure out what the positioning actually is supposed to be. Now the front wing's off. There we go. That's looking pretty close, so I'm going to deliberately move the toe all the way to there just to rule out which direction I need the toe to be in on the next setup change. RB, yeah, their car looks like a natural kind of evolution of last season's late stage car. You know, the car they had towards the end of the year when they started finding performance. It looks more like just a natural progression of that. It certainly is not what everyone feared it might be, which is a clone of last year's Red Bull. It very much is, substantially different to last season's Red Bull. But that's one thing that's good. That it hasn't just become another Red Bull, so to speak. That they have retained a good degree of independence, but I still think it's bad for the sport that Red Bull have two teams. And their influence has grown a little bit more because I forgot to mention this last week. Alpha Tauri Clothing and F1 have now got a commercial partnership. So Formula One personnel will be wearing Alpha Tauri branded clothing going forward. I think that starts this season. Maybe next, I'm not sure. But I think it's this season. Alright, let's go with that. Just see what that does. And then we can make some extra corrections if we need to. It's got more Red Bull parts. Well, yeah, it's got the same Red Bull suspension, but I mean, it's probably got less Red Bull parts than the Haas has got Ferrari parts. So Haas again looking pretty slow, although they do appear to have a pretty consistent car. It's not amazingly quick right now. Again, if they can pack on some performance quite quickly, then that might stand them in better stead, but I'm not expecting great things from Haas this year. Williams started the test a bit rough, but they seem to have found a bit more faith in the car as testing continued. I think the issues they were having on the first day or two seem to have been resolved by day 3, and they're looking quick in the speed trap, but probably lacking in downforce. So I would expect Williams to be about where they were last season, maybe slightly elevated, but oh dear, we've gone the wrong way with Ollie. That's not good.
Copy that.
So it must have been what do we do? A 13 rear? It must have been a 14. Yeah, it's a 14 rear wing. Okay. Alright, let's try that. That'll be what we put on Mick when he starts his practice session.
Something seems wrong.
Looking like we might actually go to China this year. They haven't cancelled it yet. At least as far as I know. They might have cancelled it earlier today without me realising. 92%. Still missing a little bit with Oscar. We'll try and dial that in. Let's say the last 3 seasons we're supposed to be going back to China and it's been cancelled, you know, in the run up to the start of the season. Alright, so let's go with a 6-4. Pull that in to there. Pull that back to there. Confirm that. Alright, FP1 is done. Into FP2, checking the part life. Everything's still okay. I want Mick on medium tyres in this session. Actually, no, we'll go with the hard tyres because it's going to rain on the next day, isn't it? So we'll do the long run now. Let's get him out there for 45 laps worth of fuel. Oscar on the mediums, and we want him on about 30 laps of fuel. Keep forgetting to do that. There we go. And let's see if those changes that we've made are the correct ones. Would be nice.
Green light.
The more I see of the Sauber, the less I like the livery. Evening, Derek. How are you?
Okay, comments on balance, please.
93%. All those changes we made still haven't got us where we need to be. That's frustrating. What about Oscar? Please, there we go. At least we've got one car sorted. Well, we need to run Mick all the way through this session. So we'll have 2 more bites at the cherry with Mick in the next session. And then a chance for a last minute change just before quali if necessary, but hopefully not. And I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to avoid the temptation of breaking open my sweet jar. I treated myself to a couple of purchases off Amazon this weekend. I bought The Last of Us Season 1 on 4K Blu-ray for about 20 quid. So I'm going to be sitting down and watching that at some point, probably next week. I'm still finishing off watching The Walking Dead on Disney Plus right now. but that'll be on the list to watch once I've finished with that. There's no rush on that because my Prime membership, my Disney Plus membership's on trial. And when that runs out, I'm cancelling it. So, I want to try and get to, watch everything I want to watch on Disney Plus first before it runs out. But I'll definitely be interested to see that because I missed it completely when it was on HBO. And I'm guessing, was it Sky Atlantic over here? I don't know. Because I don't have access to either of those services. So, yeah, haven't seen it. Avoided all the spoilers about the actual show itself, although I haven't played the game. I know the storyline. Be interesting to see how it's translated across. I know it's very well received. But, yeah, I seen no footage of it whatsoever. So it's all a blank. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how they've adapted, one of my favourite video games of all time into a TV series. Hopefully it's going to be good. And I also bought myself a 1 kilo bag of dolly mixture. So cleaned out an old glass jar I used to keep biscuits in, and it fits perfectly, all the dolly mix in there, which is just sat on a shelf taunting me. I will churn my way through that in short order if I'm not careful. So trying to avoid chomping on that while I'm streaming. I need to sit down and record some more War Hospital tomorrow as well. Tomorrow's episode is the last one I've got in the can. So I need to get the rest of Chapter 2 done. And then I can sit down at some point in the future and start working on Chapter 3. I know not many people are watching it, but I figure if anyone ever gets curious about the game, at least they'll have somewhere they can turn to see what it's like all the way through. I'm playing a lot of Frostpunk again recently. Trying to get that one last trophy I need for the platinum. It's brutally hard. I need to figure out a method that's going to get me through it. If I can just get through that opening 10 days, I'll be fine from that point on. But that opening 10 days is horrible. Right. It's the roll bar. So it's still an 8.2. Okay, that's not what I expected to see. That's it. That's the one change we need to make. Everything else should theoretically be good. So let's change the run plan. There we go. Now we can confirm the change. And we're done with practice 2. All right, so Mick wants medium tyres. Oscar wants softs. Okay, we have got potential for rain in this session. Let's see. Let's go with 21 laps. In fact, actually, let's overfuel him just in case we can tough out the rain, if there is any. Let's go 40 laps of fuel. That should be enough. That should be more than enough. And let's go 25 laps with Oscar. Check the parts will last. Yes, they will. In fact, let's actually use that gearbox and that ERS and that engine. squeeze the last little drips of life out of this car. It will probably break down on the track, but yeah, let's just squeeze every last little drop out of that powertrain.
Should be green now. Watch those curves.
I'm expecting, with the tyre and fuel difference, I'm expecting Mick to be slightly quicker. Yeah, there you go. 5 thousandths quicker. They'll be pretty closely matched. Given the state of that powertrain. Right. Oh yeah, rain's definitely going to be a bit heavier than I would like. We'll try and get through with Mick as best we can, but I might have to put him onto inters.
Side ready.
Understood. It does look like there could be some rain later on.
Yeah, copy.
Keep us informed on the track.
Do I want to take the risk of leaving them out there? No, let's call them both in. It's not going to be wet in the race, so we can afford to burn through a set of inters today before qualifying, which will almost certainly be wet as well. There we go. We've got plenty of wet tyres. And Mick should be able to run to the flag now, assuming that we get the setup right. If we don't, then that might be a bit of a problem for him in terms of getting his track knowledge up, but we'll see how far off he is.
How's the track now?
Right, there we go. 100%. Beautiful. Needed that.
Traction was pleasing.
That setup was proving a little bit of a pain. Leclerc's looking really slow. I mean, like, seriously slow. Let's do some investigating. New engine for George. Perez is running some old bits. Yuki has got a very worn engine. New stuff for Norris, new gearbox and new engine. Max's engine is a bit meh. Leclerc looking good. Bottas is fine. Sainz a little ropey. Ocon is good, although his gearbox might become an issue for him. Albon's engine is dipped. Magnussen's engine is dipped, brand new gearbox. Zhou engine's dipped. Baloney's engine's dipped. Porsche is in trouble. Bad engine and a bad ERS. Shaw's got a new gearbox. So is Giovinazzi. Stroll is looking pretty good. Gasly's engine's a bit dodgy, and his gearbox is new. So, speaking of dodgy, let's have a look. Still going. And he's hit the 100, so we can call him in. There we go. How you doing, Horrific? We're going to get maximum confidence for both of our drivers.
No more rain from what we can see. Keep us updated on track condition, please.
Copy.
And there we go. We're done with practice. Took a little while to get there with mixed car, but we got there in the end. So, let's get ready for qualifying.
Now it's time to see who'll come out on top as qualifying gets underway.
Good overtaking spots at Zandvoort are few and far between, so there's a lot of pressure to get qualifying just right. Drivers will be hoping for good downforce from their car setup to keep them on the track through the long sweeping corners.
If we could just talk about Mick Schumacher for a second. Given his recent form, how's he going to be going into this session?
Well, if you look at them side by side against their teammate, there's not that much in it, and that'll keep the friendly competition alive, I'm sure.
So here we are, ready to resume.
Karun didn't shit talk us for once. That's quite nice of him. Right. Potentially rain affected quali coming up. Put the cars back together again. There we go. It is going to rain towards the end of the session. We should have time for 2 runs.
Prepare the lap. Copy. Okay, let's concentrate on that warm-up.
Copy.
Oh, and if you haven't seen the community tab over the weekend, I'm a huge fan of Lollipop Man F1 Comics on YouTube. I love his little skits that he puts together, his little animations. Over the last 2 or 3 seasons of Formula One have been fantastic. Some hilarious little parodies and moments as well. New season is on its way.
Nobody ahead of you.
And he did like a 2024 preview, sort of, you know, pre-season intro video, which is hilarious. I loved it, and I pop that on my community tab as a recommendation. If you do like Formula One, you should definitely check that out. Alright, Oscar's slightly quicker. And quicker than Norris as well. I'm assuming that's Norris. It might be... Oh, Sonoda. Someone just went faster. That's probably the Red Bull. I don't know which one. We're going to yellow flag. Someone's made a mistake. Oh, red flag. Someone's had a big shunt. It's an Aston. It's gone off at the banked turn. It's Gasly. Oh yeah, he's binned it.
Oh my.
Well, that makes things interesting. We didn't quite get the chance to set the time, which would have meant we were going to finish first and second in this session. Now it's going to be wet. And it's going to stay wet for the rest of the session, I would imagine. And it also means that we've taken life out of those tyres for no value or benefit whatsoever. It's a bit frustrating. Yeah, it's going to stay wet, that constant level now, all the way through this session. There you go.
Start to work on your front tyres and brake tips.
Copy.
See, Zandvoort is 1.4 kilos of fuel for a lap.
No saving required.
Copy.
You can push more.
Copy.
Use everything.
Copy.
Okay, mate, good job. No more lift and coast required.
Copy.
As the session continues, I'm not sure. We are going to go straight out again for another run. Lots of hanging on your end as well. Let's see, are we pixelated? I hope not.
Okay, mate, let's keep looking after these tyres.
Okay.
Do some lift and coast.
Copy.
Yeah, the stream is definitely playing up.
Good entry.
Come in, nice and steady.
Copy. Pass complete line.
Box slippy, caution.
Yep. Copy.
All right, well, we'll finish this session. Mick, currently not fast enough.
So let's just concentrate on those tyres and brakes.
Copy.
Oh man, picture quality looks awful. Yeah, like I say, we'll get through the end of this first qualifying session, and then we'll end the stream and we'll start it up again a few minutes afterwards. Do a little bit of investigating, see if I can figure out what's going on.
And track clear, track clear. Let's go for it.
So track is clear. Good to push.
Oh no, all that traffic coming out in front of Mick. Alright, so far so good. No idea if Oscar's getting held up, but I mean, Oscar's probably safe. No improvement here. Oh, this is bad. Oh, it's terrible for Mick. Let's call him in. Same with Oscar. That ruined.
Copy, good entry.
It's very slippery.
Copy. Pass complete line.
Box slippy.
Copy.
Oh, I'm having all sorts of issues. My camera arm, my phone is playing up as well. Alright. There we go, at least I've got the arm holding straight. Let's go with the same set of tyres. Should be good enough. Should be. Right, is everyone on an in lap now? No, they're on flying laps. Flying laps and in laps. Okay, now's the time to go. Oh. Well, for a second, the steering quality might have sorted itself out, but I'm not sure. No, it still looks a bit potatoey.
The tyre warm up as best we can.
Yeah.
Friction tyres.
Yeah.
All right, and they really need some improvement out of Mick.
So we should be good on traffic. So go one, last moment, push.
Currently P8. So it's going to be normal in lap procedures.
Copy.
All right. There we go. Much as I do love my new Pulse Elite, the PlayStation Link does have an annoying tendency to just randomly disconnect. Yeah, Stroll and Piastri did have very, very close, well, identical times by the look of it. That should be enough to get Mick through now. Very, very close, as you can see. So let's speed things through. Perez has scraped through just. It's for sure Albon, Giovinazzi and Pourchaire who are out. But again, it's Perez is only just sneaking through. Ferrari really are struggling. They're where Mercedes were a few races ago. Mercedes looking decent now. Bottas is through. Sainz up in 7th. Bit of a Mercedes recovery continuing here. Ferrari starting to slip a little, although Russell isn't too far off pace-wise. But yeah, not ideal for Perez. All right, so let's just save. And I'm going to end the stream here. I'll give it a couple of minutes just to settle down, and then we'll restart it again and pick up at the start of Q2. So I will see you all again, hopefully, in a couple of minutes.